Good evening. It's Bob and Mike from the Sports Nuts with Last Minute Betting with us. Brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. Live chat is available. Please like and subscribe to this video channel, this YouTube channel. Underdog Fantasy link is below. You get $100 deposit match, up to $100 deposit match for your first deposit. And then the OddsJam Player Prop mobile app is down there in the description too. That is totally free for iPhone, iPad, and Mac computers. Don't forget, Mike and I have Calendly links if you want to set up an appointment with us on how to make money sports betting, or you can set one up with Randall. Fill out that form in the description. And also, we have tons of links in the description for the sports books like FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, all of those in order for you to get your bonuses and what have you. So click those links if you would. Mike, what a terrible Sunday night game. 11-10. Jimmy Garoppolo and Russell Wilson. And by the way, Russell Wilson looks like crap. Okay. I said it at the beginning of the year. I don't know what anybody was thinking, that they were signing Wilson and all of a sudden he was going to be a savior. That offense is not for him. That's not the kind of offense he needs to run. Jerry Jeudy has no hands. Okay. He's got speed. He ain't got hands. And honestly, he's being wasted, and they're paying him way too much money. I'm sorry, Russell Wilson's on the downside, bro.
Well, I mean, here the bottom line is he did put them in position to win that game and led them on a drive when they needed it. The other fact of the matter is they are 2-1, and when you look at two other teams in that division, the Raiders are 0-3, not impressive. The Chargers are 1-2, and they just got destroyed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Herbert is banged up. They lose Slater for the year. That is going to be a big blow. So the Chargers looking like they're on their way down a little bit. The Raiders haven't looked anything but down. So, I mean, I guess my question to you would be is how is Denver not – and look, they have not been impressive. But
they look terrible. That was a terrible football game.
I know, but they did win. They did win.
I don't care. I don't care. Okay.
What do you care about?
They do not. You know what? They don't look good. They are not a playoff team. If they make the playoffs, they're going to get their butts kicked early. Their defense is good, but I mean,
roll down my sleeve. What does San Francisco even rolling them up for you?
What has San Francisco got, Mike? Nobody. Okay.
They got a heck of a defense, that's for sure.
But on the offensive side of the ball, who they got? They got one player.
Well, I mean, yeah, Deebo Samuel. They're banged up a little bit at running back. You know, Ayuk is a decent player. No, I mean, no, they're not loaded with weapons, but you know, with that Kyle Shanahan scheme, they're going to run the football a lot, and they're going to predicate themselves on. Maybe not being pretty, but getting the job done. Unfortunately for them, they didn't have any offense last night themselves.
Look who it is.
I see that. Jordan Thackeray is back again. What is up with you, brother? Good to see you. Well, good to have you. We will see you soon. We'll have you on the show soon.
Yeah, we need to have him on the show again.
Absolutely. But Bob, who would have thought the punters would have been the storyline in that game last night? Well, I got to be honest. I thought that I thought the under was definitely a possibility in that game. You know, two good defenses. I mean, in all honesty, Bob, say what you want about Denver, but I will also point out they have one of the best defenses in the NFL right now. That can go a long ways.
I understand that.
They're figuring it out offensively still.
I understand everything that you're saying, but the NFL has made the rules for the offenses to succeed. As a matter of fact, there are new rules that have went into play this year that I just heard last week an announcer say these rules were to help the offense because people want to see points being
I realize that, Bob, but you have to give San Francisco a little credit in the fact they had a very good defensive scheme. I know the Broncos looked horrendous offensively, and it did not look like a very good, efficient offense in any way, shape, or form. but San Francisco's got a really good defense, and so does Denver, thus having a low-scoring game and a sloppy game. It is what it is. Yeah, it wasn't exciting, but if you're the Denver Broncos, it didn't matter if you won 11-10 or 111-10. I mean, it is what it is. It's a win.
I understand all that, okay? I understand all that. By the way, I'm just telling you, it's a sloppily played game.
Sure, I agree.
And so was the Green Bay-Tampa Bay game. Two terrible games.
Agreed.
Sloppy, crappy played games. Now, let me ask you one other question. What happened? Did Garoppolo step out of the end zone?
Well, it's a good thing he did because he threw a pick six. So let's take that for what it is. Yeah, it's a terrible play by him, and it's but in all honesty, it's what saved him from because he threw a pick six.
Well, lost anyway, so what does it matter?
No, well, it does matter because they would have been in a world of hurt then. Who knows what happens after that? Denver could thump them because then San Francisco has to pass the ball because they're down even more. And, Garoppolo could make another mistake. So it actually ended up saving them, in my opinion. But, yeah, that's not good.
Jimmy G's just a pretty guy throwing a football. I'm sorry, man. That's just all he is. Okay. And, they don't have enough. Neither one of those teams deserves to be in the playoffs based on everything that I saw through the first three games. How amazing and vintage Russell Wilson looked on one drive. That's true. He looked terrible.
I agree. But if you are a Broncos fan, or if you are, on that team, you do like the fact that, they finally got some kind of drive together. I agree. They don't look great, but they're 2-1, and the Raiders don't look good. The Chargers don't look any better. The Chiefs out of a bad loss to Indianapolis, but that is what it is. I kind of can't say I'm shocked there.
At least the Raiders and Chargers can put points on the board.
They can. How many did the Chargers put on the board last night, Bob? They would have lost to Denver 11-10 as well. Rest my case. Get out of here.
Talking about through the season, man. Denver lost to Seattle. Seattle with Geno Smith at quarterback. Geno Smith's terrible. He's terrible.
No, well, losing 38-10 to the Jacksonville Jaguars is not pretty. That is the division that we were laughing at, and we've been seeing all kinds of talk about how bad that division is and how good the AFC West is. But the AFC South brought it and took it to the AFC West because Tennessee beat the Raiders, the Jaguars beat the Chargers, and the Colts beat the Chiefs, so they took it to them.
I'll give that to you. I'm just saying.
All right, let's get into some positive EV bets.
Chargers offense and the Raiders offense have looked better than Denver's offense has all year long, period, for the year. Go ahead.
Fair enough. Yeah, we're going to look at some positive EV bets here. I'm going to refresh my screen. And actually, before I do that, let me go to my bet tracker because I want to show you some of these bets that I have locked in for Monday Night Football. I did take Ezekiel Elliott over 11.5 player receiving yards. I think he can get a couple of touches there. I don't expect him to do a ton, but I did take a chance on that one. I will tell you that this Tony Pollard play I did like over 20.5 player receiving yards. Looks like there's good value on it right now, not beating the closing line. And then player rushing attempts. Again, I expect Pollard to be the guy, receiving the ball tonight. And I expect them to feed Zeke a little bit tonight, over 15.5 player rushing attempts plus 100. And then I also want to look at a lot of these greens. There is a player prop on Barkley over 75.5 player rushing yards. Like him to hit that as well. But look at all these recommended filters bets in the NFL. A lot of these were from yesterday. And look at all these wins that we had, Bob.
There's Steven Batson. What's up, Steven?
Also took the over 20.5 first half total points in this game. I think this game will be a little higher scoring maybe than what people think.
How do you like this? CeeDee Lamb gets targeted 12 to 15 times. What do you think?
Boy, I definitely wouldn't be a bit surprised. Michael Gallup does come back, though, tonight, so that maybe dampers that a little bit. But how heavy is his workload going to be, right? How are they easing him in? how, we'll have to see. But again, look at a lot of these green bets over time that we've had on these NFL recommended filters bets. Pretty good stuff. And then, which I should have zoomed in for y'all a little more, but I'll do that now. We will show the total profit right now. We are up 67.17 in total profit. Got $350 in pending bets. ROI 24%, beating the closing line value 64%. But I also want to show you, was it the past month that I was looking at? Check out this past month. It's a good month. $978 in total profit. That's with a $50 unit price. ROI 28%, beating the closing line value 66%. So not bad. And then if we look at the past week, a pretty good week with more bets out there, $344, 350 in pending bets. ROIs at 33% there, 65% beating the closing line value. So really, really good stuff there, Bob. These recommended filter plays are really doing us well as of right now.
Can I show mine?
Yeah, I was going to take a look at a couple of plays here and see what's out here.
Go ahead and do that.
Bob, you know what? This is a recommend, and this is not a Monday Night Football bet, obviously, but I'll tell you what, my first indication, I'm tempted to back San Francisco in this spot. The Rams got a good win against Arizona. They covered the spread. I liked them in that spot. San Francisco has a rough game in prime time where they don't look hot. A lot of people are wondering about them, but they do have a really good defense. So I'm honestly tempted to jump on the 49ers on the money line here at -126. And if you look at the books on this play, a lot of them have that juice, the 49ers money line juiced big time. So really good value there, I think, on the 49ers money line. I think 56% win probability is what we're having that come in at. And I think I am going to put a unit on that. I'm really liking that play.
Okay.
Monday Night Football wise, nothing showing up. I'll refresh again. You saw the bets that I had before I let Bob share. I will go back to them so you all can look. Nothing going on for Monday Night Football, but an early bet that I do like is that money line. Bob will let you all take a look at some MLB bets that we're going to look at. But first, let me run to my bet tracker, Bob, and just show them one more time the bets that I have. Ezekiel Elliott over 11.5 player receiving yards. Tony Pollard over 20.5 player receiving yards. Elliott on his over 15.5 player rushing attempts. So those are those bets, Bob.
And who do you have in this game?
Bob, I'm leaning towards the Giants here. I got to be honest. I really think that I want to go with the Giants because ironically, nobody's really wanting to give them any credit for, and a lot of people are on this, the big win Dallas had against Cincinnati. And I just feel like the Giants have not gotten a whole lot of love despite.
And they're not going to.
No, they're not
going to, but after tonight, they're going to be 3-0.
What better way to get some love than on Monday Night Football against your arch rival in the Dallas Cowboys in your building? So.
What about Texans plus 200 over Chargers? Any chance Herbert rests?
Well, with Slater being out, with Slater being out, you wonder at this point, at what point do the Chargers decide we've got, but
Mike, I think they sent a battered quarterback out there to play and had no business doing that. And I think your coach is losing you games.
Sure. Not me.
Big time.
Not me.
Yes.
I'm not betting on
Chargers.
them. I'm not betting on those clowns. I'm not stupid. I haven't bet them one time.
All right. Let me share my screen.
One time I haven't.
Let me share my screen. Okay. Let me share my screen.
Jordan, I definitely like the Texans on that spread, though, I think.
On the spread, not outright, I don't think.
Well,
all right, look.
I think it's worth some lunch money on.
Let me get some baseball plays in here real quick. Baltimore Orioles. These are our recommended filter plays.
Yes.
Baltimore Orioles over 4.5, team total -115 on BetMGM.
Yeah, Seabold's on the mound for the Red Sox.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a play. Okay.
Big time.
Now, hold on. We just had this happen, and that happens occasionally. Because I changed, some of those plays just went away. Okay. But one thing I wanted to point out, you can do with the recommended filters is you can put in today's date. I'm going to switch up and I'm going to go a different route here. These are basically the filters cleared. I'm just going to take the player props out and I'm going to take the market with the 28-cent maximum width. And Stephen Batzel will go, "Why'd you do that, Bob?" And I'm going to say, because I felt like it.
No, Steven knows. Steven knows.
All right. First half total runs under 5.5, 14-cent market width, plus 106 on FanDuel. About a 50% chance. I'll put a half a unit on that. I want to go real quick here to my bet tracker and show you what's been happening. All right. Let me go to the dashboard first. All right. I don't have as much profit as Mike, but Mike, if you remember, I was down not too long ago in the 2,800 range, 2,700 range. We now increased over 4,400. The last 2 weeks, I was down $160 this week, and this last week I was down $180. They are now two of my top 5 weeks ever. That's how it can turn around. Positive EV and the combination of that and your sports knowledge, handicapping, you can make money, man. I'm telling you right now. So let me go to my bet tracker and show you some of the bets that I've hit for today. And I got a bunch in here. Okay. First of all, we've got, my goodness, let me go down here. This over 20.5 points. First half on points bet. We hit that on the morning coffee show. Over 7.5, over 8.5, over 9 in the Nationals and Braves game. What do we call that? Butterfly Bob play. Saquon Barkley over 3.5 player receptions. He's had 9 receptions, I believe, through 2 games. That's 4.5 average. I like this play a lot. Plus 125, we got it on PointsBet this morning. Saquon Barkley over 22.5 player receiving yards, which later on this afternoon became under 24.5. I like the over. I already hit it. Tony Pollard over 2.5 player receptions. That was
I like that. Yeah,
I like that one a lot. Bo Bichette over 1.5 player bases. The Braves. This was a morning coffee pick on Caesars run line minus 1.5. But I think Aaron Judge is going to hit the home run tonight. So I took him for over player bases on FanDuel over 1.5. And I want to show you another butterfly play under 9, under 8.5, and under 8, all on BetMGM in the Pittsburgh-Cincinnati game. And you just seen that I took the Orioles team total over 4.5 and first half total runs between the Red Sox and the Orioles under 5.5. That is my bet tracker, positive EV page, the whole 9 yards. There you go. I asked Randall, and he basically said he just made it up. Less than 30 was his answer a few days ago. I'm telling you right now that the 28 seems to work out, because when I do that, and then I always go to the recommended filters first. A lot of the recommended filters plays show up when I put those filters that I use in. So I must be doing something right. Right, Mike?
It's very possible you're doing something right. I'm kidding.
I do like the Giants tonight, though. I do like the Giants. I like the Giants.
I do too. I just think that, we look at this team, and while I realize it's not as if they have just been playing the toughest of opponents, but I mean, Panthers, Titans, couple of wins. Cowboys are riding high. I mean, they're without Dak Prescott. I think that at some point you're going to see them miss Dak Prescott. I mean, it didn't look like it against Cincinnati, but that's one game. And I think there will be some, little bit of overreaction to that. And like I said, I just feel like the Giants aren't really being discussed anywhere about anything. And this game is in New York. So I think that I would take them on the money line.
Oh, good, Mike. I like that.
Well, I mean, it's minus one or the money line. I mean, let's take a look at what we got value-wise right now. Probably not a lot of positive expected value.
Yeah, well, why don't you go ahead and do that real quick while I look for something here. Bob's lock of the night, Blues over the Stars, plus 140. It is almost time for hockey, Jordan. We've got some preseason games. Training camp is upon us. I love it, baby. Go Blues!
All right, so let's take a look here on the money line. Like I said, it looks like the best minus 110 is what you can get the Giants for on the money line, which is going to probably be pretty close to what you find them for on the spread as well. You can find Dallas, Pinnacle prices at plus 105. Best place I can get it for is plus 100. So not really any positive expected value there on the Cowboys. And then you take a look at Pinnacle price and the Giants at minus 115. I can get it for minus 110. So, I mean, a little bit of value there, I guess. And then we look at this spread. Most books have this at Giants minus 1 or Cowboys plus 1, except FanDuel. They do have that. I guess if you were on the Cowboys, I guess you could maybe consider the plus 1.5 on FanDuel rather than the plus 1, Right. But looks like the play would be for me, Giants on the money line for any, but the Cowboys plus 1, no. Not really any good value there either. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, for me, the play would be the Giants on the money line is what I would roll with. But, again.
Hey, I want to do a little congratulations here to the Cleveland Guardians. Mike, you had them in last place in the AL Central. I had them in 4th place. They just clinched the division yesterday. Congratulations to them. Great job.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my words were they would be guarding the bottom of that division.
Yeah,
boy, I'm eating those words now. Yeah, very impressive team. I'm very, very impressed with that team, and they've made me some money.
This is very foreign to me to see folks speaking well of my New York Giants.
Dude, I mean, look, I think they're improved. I really do, and I think
Barkley's healthy. There's one improvement.
Exactly. That helps tremendously. And, so far, their defense has been good enough. Tonight will be a good test for them, especially against a team coming off of an impressive win against the Bengals.
Facts lock of the night, Barkley plus 105 anytime. Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Come on, Jordan. That's a no-brainer. My goodness.
Well, yeah, that's why it's a lock, Bob.
That's like picking the Broncos to win, but they already won. Come on.
Oh, now that's a terrible comparison. Schultz and Gallup, Gallup is inactive. Yeah, okay. I did not see that. So who was it that asked about?
That was Jordan. Said
for sure. Yeah, exactly. No doubt about. But here's the other thing, though. That sets me up. I have Ezekiel Elliott over 15.5 player rushing attempts. You got to feed Zeke too. So,
and Pollard's going to get the ball too.
Yeah. So I think all my player prop bets are on Pollard and Elliott on some of their overs, and that will help that, I think. So that's good.
And I got Barkley and Pollard on player props.
I did take Barkley on his over player rushing yards. I think any Barkley over tonight.
Mike,
I think it's a big night for him.
Mike.
Yes.
Give us an anytime TD score for tonight's game.
I mean, the obvious one, Bob, would be Barkley. I mean, who wouldn't roll with that? If I had to pick right now out of all these guys, I mean, if I'm maybe Elliott for Dallas, but if I were to have to lock one in and bet it, I would go with Jordan with Barkley right now because he's going to see his fair share of action, whether it's in the passing game or the running game. I expect him to have a pretty big night. So usually that ends up getting you a touchdown when you touch the ball a lot. So going to be tough for me to go with someone from Dallas other than Elliott right now, or CeeDee Lamb, obviously, but I'm sure both of those have crap value right now. But we could check. How's that? Why don't we do that real quick?
Why don't you do that real quick?
Let's do that real quick. Let's look at our lines for anytime touchdown scorer. So the cool thing here is, everybody, is you look when you hit this tab, when you're looking at a specific matchup, you can just hit that tab like I did and then just start typing whatever. Well, I guess that was to do like that, right? So something actually comes up. But you see here, anytime touchdown scorer, bam, we got it, and we're right to it. So let's take a look at one guy that let's take a look at Elliott. Plus 150, honestly, on DraftKings. I don't think that's a terrible look at taking Elliott, but like I said, I'm so high on the Giants tonight that that plus 105 is pretty good. Look at this. Average odds are minus 110 on that. So you're really maximizing your value, Bob, at plus 105 as opposed to minus 145 and minus 120. Barkley's the play.
Now I'm going to show you one here, Mike.
That's the play.
Mike.
That's the play. It just
scroll down to right under CeeDee Lamb. Who's the guy right under him?
CeeDee Lamb. Well, I have to scroll
right under CeeDee Lamb. Who is that? Chris Myrick. He's a tight end too. Plus 2,200 on DraftKings, baby. I'm rolling with Chris.
Well, I got to be Schultz is out.
I know, baby.
So, boy, that is tempting, though. I would honestly, assuming he is their backup, right?
He's a tight end too. Yeah, but
you'd have to think they're going to utilize him a little bit. I think I would be tempted to roll with. You look at that, you plus 800, plus 950, that plus 2,200, and the average odds are plus 1,388. A couple of books don't even give you plus 1,000 odds, and DraftKings is giving you plus 2,200. Bob, that is probably one I'd throw a little lunch money on.
I'm going to throw a little munch money.
But Barkley is a really good one.
Yeah,
a really
Barkley's
good one.
The play for everybody. Okay?
Yeah, well, and look at the value on it, though, when you consider Caesars is only giving you minus 145.
Right.
The fact you can even get this at plus odds is tremendous to me.
It's no two ways about it. When you could get Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown score at plus money, that's great. That's great. Might as well go Rico Dowdle plus 4,000. I may do that too. What the hell?
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But
hey, but Myrick is, hold on. That's a real possibility of a touchdown, guys, because he's going to be the main tight end target, I believe, tonight. So they got a couple of rookies that they had drafted. But
we'll have to see. It definitely is it's definitely a possibility. Boy, I'll tell you what, if that hits, that hits tonight, let's pay attention to that, Jordan. If that son of a gun,
Jordan will never hear the end of that.
If this guy scores a touchdown, Bob, then we're hiring. They need to hire you as their play caller / player evaluator.
Well, they ought to do that anyway.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.